Hey gamers, welcome back to Pre-Order Stories, and now let me take it back to the year 2005. First Encounter Assault Recon, otherwise known as Fear, was developed by Monolith Software and published by Vivendi Games, or Sierra, whichever you prefer to call it. Doesn't matter because another company exists anymore. They were all bought out by Activision several years ago. And so the IP rights to First Encounter Assault Recon is kind of in one of those limbos, although last I checked, Warner Brothers claims they own it because they bought Monolith. And that having been said, Warner Brothers does claim they own everything, including things they don't actually own, including Happy Birthday to You. They claim they owned fraudulently for many years. So how truthful that is, who knows? But yeah, First Encounter Assault Recon impressed a lot of people. 2005 was an interesting year for PC games. The Xbox, the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, those were all long in the tooth. Nobody was really developing for them anymore because they were more interested in either developing for the next generation of consoles, which weren't out yet, or they were going to be developing to PC because now at the time they were really trying to push graphics. Games like Half-Life 2 were out. Games like Doom 3 were out. These games looked incredible on the PC, and the consoles just could not replicate that, at least not at that time. So, 2005 was kind of a bit of a watershed moment for gaming. It would probably end when BioShock came out for obvious reasons, because at this time, PCs were offering great-looking games, better than you can get in the consoles, better than you could run on the consoles, and there was none of that DRM BS, that, you know, online activation crap and stuff like that, to basically destroy it. So you had PC basically just pulling ahead. And then there was a game like First Encounter Assault Recon. Now, I first heard about this game because it was developed by Monolith. And I was a big fan of Monolith from basically playing No One Lives Forever 1 and 2. And a game that I previously talked about, Sanity, Icon's Artifact, which nobody remembers. And apparently the people who do remember it much more negatively than I do. So go figure on that one. But I thought it was a cute little game. This game really impressed me because this was based upon the idea of taking a first-person shooter and making it scary, but scary in a different way. We had already played Doom. We already played the Ravenholm section of Half-Life 2. We knew what basically horror was when it came to fighting monsters, fighting zombies, that sort of thing. This was a game that was more inspired by, you know, more Japanese-type horror, like the Ring. The original Ring. So it kind of set itself apart, to say nothing of the fact that the graphics in the game used a whole new engine. It was an updated version of the Litech engine, which they called the Fear engine, and then they later switched it out to be calling it the Litech FX engine. But yeah, this was a whole new engine. It pumped performance. It really did chug performance. So you had to have a high-end PC to get it, which made, you know, people like me very interested in it. The demo came out about a month or two before it released, and I was impressed. I played the hell out of that demo. It was a great demo. And I was really impressed by it. So, of course, positive demo, positive company name, new IP, sure. I was kind of hoping that maybe after they released this, we'd get back to No One Lives Forever, but of course that didn't happen. But needless to say, I wanted to give Monolith my money. They certainly had deserved it. They had plenty of goodwill from the previous game that they had sold to me. So I wanted to pre-order this, and I specifically wanted to get the collector's edition copy of this game. So how do I do that? Well, we're going to have another empty box campaign here. This is the empty box pre-order for First Encounter Assault Recon, which included a bonus DVD with a whole bunch of cool in-game items. It also, as you can see here, includes some extra character skins and stuff like that were included on the DVD. They don't do that anymore. I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, needless to say, it actually came with a leaflet sleeve with some codes on it, particularly because it included early access to the game's multiplayer beta, which I did use. You had to use a code, and also had a code for basically the CD here. So apparently, if you get this pre-order CD, it has content on it, but it also requires a second code to get some of the extra content, so keep that in mind. But what was on here that was so interesting? They were really promoting this game like crazy, and so there were a lot of different video series that were being released at that time, including a live-action prequel series involving a interview with the girl on the box that would have taken place before the final, before the main game started, but also a series called Panics, which was a animated series done by the Red versus Blue team. Before they were, now they're calling themselves, of course, Rooster Teeth, but I always knew them as the Red versus Blue team. So imagine Red versus Blue done as, done with the Fear engine, with the Fear game, and it was pretty funny. They definitely brought over the Red versus Blue humor, totally translated to the Fear team, because at that point they could basically get away with what made Red versus Blue so funny, which is just they would make fun of the bureaucratic stupidity of the army and the military, which of course totally applied to Fear, but also they can add in supernatural, gags about ghosts and stuff like that, because of course the series was called Panics, Panics, an acronym for God knows what, and they could get away, and basically they could make supernatural jokes too. My favorite joke, of course, from that series, and it's on this bonus DVD. Wait, so hold on a second. A rookie comes up to the guy in charge of the Panics team and says, so "Wait a second, you're telling me that there are no ghosts? So then what does the Panics team do?" And the leader says, "We collect the easiest paycheck in the history of mankind." I may have used that line to fool scam artists over the phone. I may a few times, and the beauty part is, of course, is how can you tell that you're being scammed over the phone if the person is so stupid they can't tell the difference between an obvious lie and the truth? And if you tell them that you collect money basically by saying that you're a supernatural, that you're a supernatural eliminations, they believe you. And yeah. Go figure on that one. So yeah, this was the empty box campaign for Fear. Obviously, they kept the receipt. You kept your receipts, and you get the cool box with the bonus DVD, some extra content with it, early access to the beta. I miss when they did stuff like this, and I think that's the whole point of this entire series. I miss when you used to actually get something tangible with your pre-order, whether it be something on, even if it was DLC, you'd at least get it on a disc so you could reinstall it easily. Nowadays, it's like everything is just on a receipt that you're going to toss anyway. Yeah, you're going to redeem the codes, and yeah, in all likelihood, you could probably re-download your content, but who's to say that you're going to re-download that content, or who's to say that somebody that uses a different profile on your account wants to use that content? They can't. And who's to say you may not want to get you may get a new profile down the line? All that content may be lost. So if there was a point to all this series of pre-order stories, it's that this kind of stuff used to be done well. This kind of stuff used to be done so fantastically. This is the reason why people pre-ordered. They pre-ordered because they liked getting cool bonuses that they could hang up on a shelf, or they could hang up on a shelf, wall, whatever. And to me, it seems like, I just picked up a copy of The Last of Us 2, and by the way, if you guys want me to do a 4K unboxing of it, just ask, and I'll do it. All I got with it for my pre-order was a DLC receipt. And I'm not to say I'm not grateful for that, and that's part of the reason why, but I can't put that up on a shelf. And had I not spent for a full collector's edition, I would have nothing to put up on a shelf, other than just the game sleeve or something. And I think that there's a loss in that. And so I miss the empty box campaigns. I really do. Call me an old guy for that if you want. I'll accept it. Until next time, guys, my name is Maniac with GamingSuccess.net. Take care. Over and out.